What's going on, everybody? Cloud here from Moon Willow Magic, and today we are going to be doing the 15 cosmic questions as put out in the witch tag from Little Cosmic Crow. Alright, so shout out to Little Cosmic Crow for coming up with all these questions. Pretty excellent, and yeah, let's get it going. Alright guys, so before we get going, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's watching this video, alright? And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and all that, because we are going after that goal of 500 subscribers by the end of next year, alright? So we can do this, guys, so, you know, hook it up. Okay, so let me just grab a quick little sip of my coffee. Love me some coffee at 4 in the afternoon. I like this coffee mug a lot. It's like super cool. I found it at a little tea shop in historic Smithville, New Jersey. It's really, really cool. I love it. All right, guys. First question. Does your birth name suit you? Do you want to change it, or have you changed it? I have absolutely no problem with my birth name. My name is Richard, and I kind of think that fits me well. I haven't really looked into the meaning of the name or anything like that, but I know there have been kings named Richard and all that other stuff. But to be honest with you, I don't mind being called Rich at all, but I do not like being called Richie. That is solely for my parents. But yes, I've been called many other names throughout the course of my life, but Richard is my birth name, and it works fine for me. Question number 2. I forgot what it was already. Yeah, so I left that in. So I don't have a computer, right? So I have been doing all of these videos I do on my phone. And for the most part, I've been going back and forth from the tag to here so far for the questions. And I already forgot the second question. So that won't be happening again. We wrote them down. Yeah, we got them written down now. And, yeah, we're not playing around anymore. Oh, my goodness gracious. Okay, so. Alright, let's get back after this, shall we? Okay, question number 2. What kind of weather do you connect with most? Or do you connect the most with? I have to say autumn. I am a big fan of the fall. The entire, you know, the temperature is proper for me. And just, I love when the leaves start changing color, and it just kind of speaks to me in a manner of that. And plus, you know, I'm kind of fat, and I don't do well in the heat, so, you know, I'd rather be cold than hot. But I like that fall temperature, that right where it's at. See, I live in New Jersey, so we get a really nice temperate fall. It's generally pretty beautiful around here. So, yeah, I really, really like fall. Question number 3. Within paganism and spirituality, is there anything you are uncomfortable with? Not really. I mean, I always, and if you've watched any of my other videos, I always say it is your own personal path to walk. Whatever it is that you want to do, that's fine. If it's something that I decide that I don't want to do, I don't really mess with it. You know what I mean? Like, I have a tendency to feel that dragon energy is quite chaotic, so I don't really mess with it that much. Even though I have been kind of reading up on it, I don't really have anything that I'm actually uncomfortable with within the craft or within paganism in general. But I mean, to make a generalized statement, one of the things within paganism as a whole that I do feel a little uncomfortable with is the whole I'm a better witch than you are kind of attitude that some pagans show. It's a natural human thing, though, for some people to be like that, especially when you're walking a path of self-empowerment such as witchcraft is. So it makes sense for some people to be like, oh, I'm a better witch, or I'm a 3rd generation, this, that, or another, or whatever it is. That's up to you. Cool. You know what I mean? I just personally, nothing really makes me uncomfortable short of like the witch wars that go on. I don't really see much of a point in it. I think we should all be more of a community and supporting each other rather than going after each other and calling each other fluffy bunnies and all the other stuff that everybody does. But that's just me. In your spell work or practice, How do you help yourself be more confident? This is question number 4, and I gotta say, I love this one. All right. Self-confidence, trusting yourself. This is things that I talk about all the time, because when you are performing a spell, if you don't trust yourself that you're doing it properly, or that you're putting the proper amount of energy into it and all that, well, then you've already messed it up. You have to know what you're doing is going to work. You have to believe it. You have to feel it. So when you're looking at it like that, it is a self-confidence thing that you have to have in yourself when you're doing any kind of spell work. And this may not be for everybody, this idea, but it is very freeing to know that the energy that you're putting out into these spells and everything that you're doing, that you've put in writing the spell, if you write your own spells, this is all things that you should be more confident about, because you're doing the work, you're doing the research, everything that you're doing to put together the spell. There should be a level of confidence about that. So it's not something that I would do to help myself be more confident. It's more of a self-confidence when actually doing it, if that makes sense. All right, so this question actually kind of stumps me. Okay, number 5. Who is someone that inspires you currently? I could sit here and say a whole bunch of YouTube content creators are, inspirations to me, or I could say that, a certain author is an inspiration to me, or people that I work with are inspirations to me. But what I have to say is, you want to know what really inspires me? It's my coven. My coven, they are like family to me, and they inspire me every day to be better. They inspire me every day to continue learning, continue growing as myself. And, they really mean a lot to me. So that is an inspiration for me to move along my path with more conviction than just kind of being lackadaisical about being a witch. It means more to me because I have these people with me that practice with me. And, every single one of them means a lot to me. So that is probably what inspires me the most within witchcraft. Now, outside of witchcraft, anybody that has put in the work to be able to fix their situation or to get help for mental health issues, and people that have taken the right steps to show that they care about themselves and they care about others. That is what really inspires me. Question number 6. Do you think you are responsible for healing or fixing the mistakes that your ancestors made? Absolutely not. I don't think that I am responsible for anything that has happened before I was born. We want to look forward in life. To me, personally, I want to look forward. I don't want to look on the past and try to worry about, something my uncle did or whatever happened back in the day. We're not fixing a problem. We're moving forward. We're not healing an issue. We're putting it behind us and stepping forward in a new light. That's what life is really about. For you to move forward with your own life and not let the past come and bite you in the ass, really. So, yeah, no, I don't see that being an issue. I don't see that it's our responsibility for dealing with any issues that our ancestors have. Question number 7. What is the weirdest thing you've experienced within your path? Let me see here. I've experienced some weird things. I'd probably have to say it deals with random people hitting me up. I always think that's kind of weird. Or people that I know are very religious, like churchgoers and are Catholics, that hit me up and say, "Hey man, I'm looking to do a spell to fix this, A or B, X, Y, or Z, however you want to slice it." And I think it's really weird when that happens, because if you are so, set in your faith and you all of a sudden want to hit up your resident Wiccan, Come on, man. You know what I mean? What is going on in that head of yours that you're hitting me up for a spell? You know, like, so I always think it's really weird when that happens. I could come with some supernatural experience, and yes, I have had those, but everybody has, really. If you practice witchcraft, that's a natural occurrence, because as you start working with your own energy and you start, you know, empowering yourself, and you start doing the shielding, grounding, centering, and all this little energy work that you're doing, I mean, energy attracts things. That's just how it is, you know. So everybody's going to have some form of a supernatural experience when working with witchcraft. So it's one of those things that I don't consider that weird. But I do consider it weird when people, real people, hit me up, you know, and like going against their faith for me to do a spell for them, or for me to teach them how to do a spell so that they can. It's just one of those things that I find laughable, but I also find it kind of weird. Question number 8. Do you believe in auras? If so, what aura colors do you believe or know yourself to have? I generally have like an indigo blue aura. I'm generally pretty happy-go-lucky. I'm on top of my game. But you know what? People's auras change within their emotions or how they're feeling. Like people that deal with depression, their auras will change a lot depending on their current mood. And you know, it's almost like an energetic mood ring. So my auras kind of shimmer in and out depending on my mood. And you can ask anybody that's ever read my aura. It tends to remain around blue, but sometimes it'll be orange, sometimes it'll be green. It really depends on how I'm feeling at the time. And I'm sure that's probably true for most people. Question number 9. If you do your own tarot or oracle readings, do you find them to be truthful or accurate, or is it biased? Mine tend to be more sarcastic. I don't really read cards for myself that much because I kind of like to live in the moment. I don't want to be looking into what's going to happen with me personally, but I read cards for other people all the time. And whenever I do go and read for me, my deck in personal is my deck right here. Let's got it right here. It is. It has a tendency to be really sarcastic and be like, dude, why are you even asking? You don't want to know. Why are you even asking? Because I always tell myself, and I tell everybody else, like, I don't want to know my future. I kind of want to live and see where it's going. I don't particularly care to know. But that's just me. If you read cards for yourself to kind of see how the day's going to go, how you want to prepare your day to have a good day or have a bad day, well, that is completely up to you, and I applaud you for that. But me personally, I don't really do that. Number 10. What is one thing that you are proud of yourself for? I am proud of myself for a couple things. I'll give you one witchcraft and one real life, okay? My life situation now is leaps and bounds better than it was, because one of the things that I'm probably most proud of myself for is fighting off addiction and getting past an addiction in a younger age. So, you know, we can talk about that later. I'll give you the whole sob story later. If you really want to know, comment below and I'll give my little sob story. But I'm not really looking back on that. Like I said earlier, I'm moving forward in my life. So it's really a mindset that I'm in now to not really care about that, but I will tell you guys if you want to know. One thing I am proud of myself magically for, though, is continuing to walk this path. Even through all of that addiction and everything that I did, I still always kept my beliefs in check. I just fell off and I went straight off my path. And that's why a lot of people will say that it's a crooked path. Because it is a crooked path. You're going to go this way, you're going to go that way, you're going to go this way, that way, and sometimes you're going to end up right back at square one because you messed up. And it's just how it is. It's part of life. And, yeah. So, but I am proud of myself for sticking with my path, even when I was dealing with all of the personal issues that I was dealing with back then. Number 11. Between light and dark, what is most prevalent in your practice, or are they both? I do not consider my witchcraft to be either light or dark. I think magic is magic. It is neither light nor dark. That's just me. Other people can say whatever they want about it. That is perfectly up to you. Me personally, magic is magic. It is neither light nor dark. It is the intent that you put behind that magic that makes it light or dark. Okay? I've said this in other videos that I've posted before, and you can go back and check some of those out. I don't personally believe in that. I believe that the magic that we work with is all from the same pool, really. And it's not so much a light or dark. But if I had to put a label on it, I would probably say I lean more towards the light side of things, but I am not opposed to doing some of the darker stuff if it's needed. Number 12, this question's awesome. Little Cosmic Crow, shout out to you for this. This is great. I can't wait to see what other people that do this tag answer this question with. Number 12, do you believe in aliens? If so, should we be fearful of their existence or try to communicate with them? I think that aliens, there is no way that aliens don't exist. This universe is way too vast. But I also think that the aliens that are out there are most likely in the same position we are, trying to figure out how to get off their planet. And for any of them that have, if they do make their way here, I would attempt to communicate before, being fearful of their existence. But as a mass, people are most likely going to be fearful of their existence. However, I don't think they've been here yet. I don't think they're going to find us in our lifetime. If they do, I'll be happily surprised. Awesome. That was a great question. So far in your path, what are some of the favorite things that you have learned? Question number 13. Big fan of this one as well. I gotta say, some of the favorite things that I have learned have really been more on the goal setting side of witchcraft, and things that are taught in some covens, like your 13 goals of a witch, know yourself, know your craft, all of that. There's a lot of personal growth that goes in with witchcraft, and it has really helped me become the person that I am today, which is a lot better of the person that I was 10 years ago. So, I am, I gotta say, some of the favorite things, but if we're talking actual techniques, I'm really glad that I have gotten in contact with my spirit animal. I have been able to find a way to meditate and, use the chakras in meditation and really dig in and get in touch with my subconscious and everything. Another thing that I'm really happy with that I've learned is I have learned a lot of methods of teaching energy work to others. That's another thing that I'm really glad that I learned, because it is something that a lot of people struggle with when they first start out with witchcraft. So yeah, those are just a couple of them, really. Number 14, what are your thoughts on using tools for spirit communication? Examples are tarot, oracle, other divination, Ouija boards, spirit boxes, EVP recorders, etc. Do you have any favorites or preferences? Okay, so if you don't need these to communicate with a spirit and you were like a natural medium, I wouldn't use them at all. I would just communicate the way you know how. Me personally, I am not, and I do require to use tools when I plan on using spirit. My favorite tool to use is a black mirror when I go to communicate with spirits. That's just mine personally. I like to use the black mirror, but if anybody has any questions on how to use a black mirror for spirit communication, let me know and I'll do a video about it. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on my favorites and preferences. But I think that if you don't need it, don't use it. But if you do need it, then absolutely. Last question, guys, number 15. If you were able to talk to your future self, what questions would you ask? I would probably ask him, how are you? That's it. Like I said, I don't want to know my future. It's because if you know your future, that future that you have is not going to be the same, because you know what's going to happen. So you're going to make decisions to work towards that, and you can probably change that future. So it's not something that, it's just like with a tarot reading. When you see a tarot reading laid out and you see your outcome cards and you see where everything's headed, a lot of the times that's not where it's going to be, because the person has seen that in their cards and they've been read and they've been told and been warned about, or been told to look out for signs of this, and their decisions can eventually make that change. So it's not like an end-all be-all when it comes to the future. So I wouldn't bother asking my future self anything. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you all do the tag as well. There's other content creators out there that are watching this video. Let me know what you think about the bedroom videos, because the lighting in here is a lot better. And, I just kind of Wanted to shoot one in here, see what everybody thought about it, instead of going up to the attic where the lighting is kind of hit or miss. I have to work on buying some lights, so, we're getting there. But, yeah. Alright, guys, like I said earlier in the video, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys all watching this video. Alright, one more sip of the coffee. Love this mug. Alright, guys. Till next time, I'm Cloud from Moon Willow Magic. Bright blessings and blessed be.